Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. Hey, I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Family Empire Houston, which airs every Friday night at 9 Eastern. Yeah, on the OWN network. This is season 1, episode 6, I believe. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video in support of me, and if you are a new watcher, please go on and subscribe to this channel so that you can stay connected to everything that's happening over here on this platform. And also, you can leave your comments below. Well. Well. The mess that came out and stuff finally needs to be said that needs to be said. And it was quite an interesting episode, but let's get on into it. All right, so we start off where we left off. And a lot of the family was coming around giving their input on how to deal with this land that Granny has. Granny Oscarine. I still want to respect y'all. Please forgive me if I'm saying Granny. I know she's not my granny per se, but however, Nicole had her own idea that at first she wanted to stay out of, as Jermisha has brought up before. Kind of, it counters what Jermisha was saying, because it's like, but Nicole had a good plan as far as how to help out the G1s and also to preserve the land to keep money flowing. I think Jermisha was to have everything just kind of like continue on for generations and generations and generations. Anyways, is her name Monet? Hopefully it is. This is Nicole's little sister and Keisha's little sister. She was saying, so what about the beauty shop? And immediately, Grandma's hand went, eh. Everybody was like, oh, you need to stay out of that, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Everybody started crowding around and giving their own whatever, and Granny just that's it, we're not having any more conversation. So, obviously, because of how things were going and how charged the atmosphere was with the arguments, it wasn't going to work out. Next, while they're doing their thing, Joy wants to speak with Keisha. Joy is Nicole's mom and Monet's mom, and kind of wanted to apologize to her and speak about what was going on back in the day. What we do know is that Mr. Bubba, which is Nicole, Keisha, and Monet's father. Nicole and Keisha were like born a month apart or so, I think. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, he got 2 women pregnant at the same time. They weren't married. However, they've treated this whole situation like somehow Keisha was a product of an affair. Like, I thought they was married or something, especially in the beginning. But no, it's just that Mr. Blood was getting around. Everything was going on. Miss Joy is just explaining a lot of lies, a lot of cheating, and all that good stuff. And if other people had stayed out of our business and worried about their own house, I think things would have been a little bit better, but I don't know how things would have been better. And what she's talking about, as 2 of the aunties came over and got Keisha, brought them over to, I think it was Miss Joy, not Joy, Jermisha and Jaquilla's, I know I'm saying her name wrong. Jermisha and Jermisha's mother's home, and let all the cousins and sisters play with her. They kind of left the conversation like, Nicole was like, Lord. Keisha was like, okay. Keisha still has some things that she needs to, I guess, get answers for. And I don't blame her, because it seems like the adults are still playing around in this whole situation. I think one thing, at least the older generations, these family secrets, family scandals, and all that, they want to just brush them off, move on like nothing happened, and you got to deal with the truth. And people don't want to do that. And I think that is unfortunate how the black families are. Like, we got to deal with this and move on. Not just move on with unresolved stuff going on. Sorry. So anyways, after they got done with their conversation, Keisha came out and she was with her fiance, well, soon to be fiance. I don't think they're engaged yet. Jermisha's sister, I don't know why I can't remember her name. I think it's just Jaquisa. I think it is. And then my man, my boy, her husband was there. They were talking about, switching from straight to gay as far as the sex goes. Like, you really wanted to give up the D because I think Caramel has children. I think that's what was going on. Like, you really didn't want any more of the D. She's like, well, I didn't really give it up. I just went from the real one to the fake one. So obviously we know who is strapped up. So they get on the subject of Keisha and Joy. Keisha and Joy. Keisha was like, well, I guess she wanted to apologize, but she started talking about some people should have been minding their own homes and their own business instead of coming over here. And Jaquisa, if it is, I'm sorry if I messed it up, said, oh, she's talking about my mom. Why is she trying to be all general? She didn't say that. I'm adding stuff into it. So, and she got to be talking about her because you came over to our house all the time. Blah, 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 blah. So obviously there is some bad blood between the G1s, and then there's stuff rising up from the G2s. So they talked about, there were times where it was time to take pictures. And there was a time where, oh, well, I only want to take pictures with my children. She can take pictures with other children. We find out that Jamisha and Jaquisa's mom, their dad have other children also. However, they haven't been excluded whatsoever. And that's the difference as to what was going on in Miss Joy's home and Mr. Bubba's home. So they don't understand the shade that's going on. Anyways, Jaquisa went on and called Jamisha, and they talked about it or whatever. Jamisha had some type of other meeting with some of the other G1s. They're about to have another crab boil. I guess when it's crab boil season, we lock down, and that's all we do. I'm gonna have to get to Texas one day. I only flown into Texas on an airplane, and it was hot. I think y'all are about the closest thing to hell right now, at least in the United States. I'm sure there's hotter places around the world, but my lord. Anyways, so Jamisha brought that up in front of the other aunties. I know Aunt Charlotte was there, the one that was saying, you're getting a little bit sassy on last week, we still your aunties. I think a lot, they discussed it a little bit later, the G2s kind of were in the adult business at the time about the whole Keisha thing. So they shouldn't have been around, but they were around, and they heard a bunch of stuff that was going on because I don't think the G1s really covered that really nicely. But anyways, I would like to see if Oscarine has a relationship with Keisha. I haven't seen them interact at all, and I would love to see it. As far as I know, what we see later on, Mr. Bubba, he's at the crab boil. Miss Joy's there. Everybody's there except for Granny Oscarine. I didn't see any interaction with Mr. Bubba, so I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, with Keisha and all that good stuff, I don't know. Maybe they did say hi and we just didn't get to see it. Anyways, we move on from there. What happened next? Nicole goes to Monet's shop. Well, at least where she works at. And Nicole got a bob. I like her bob. I like Jamisha's bob that's in the confessional, if y'all seen that tonight. I'm like, y'all look good. I know y'all like that long stuff, but sometimes the bob looks good on y'all. Anyway, she needed to get that pressed out because of the the Houston air and the rain and all that good stuff. And then Monet was that brought up, I brought up the beauty shop last night, and yesterday, and I didn't mean to cause no problems, but everybody's talking about just this piece of land. What are you going to do with the shop that I'm actually in and all that? And I was brushed off. And Nicole said, Granny's got that all set. That's in her will, and that's how it goes. I usually take up for Monet, but on that, nope, because I guess there's something that's already in plan. And hopefully we know, is she going to be out of a job pretty soon, or got to find her own place at whatever point that Granny leaves the earth? We don't know. Did they talk about Keisha and Joy? Oh, yeah. They do talk about it a little bit. She's like, I think it's always going to be a sore subject as to how everything and how people were handled. And I think we just need to move on because we'll never get past this place. There's always going to be bitterness. I see Nicole's point. I think some people still have some unresolved issues that still affects them to today. And that's why she said, let's go to therapy. You can still say to the doctor, da 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 da, and still you need some answers from other people. You know, I think that therapy is going to help. I think also a good talking with will help too, to clear the air. So it's like there's got to be a balance there. Therapy is going to help, but some people just need to be truthful in how they feel and stop with this cloud mess to make everything look pretty. You know what I mean? Let's see. Miss Oscarine still got her driver's license. However, you know, with this driver's license comes restrictions, and she goes to certain confined areas to drive around. So she isn't all around. I forgot her age, but I know she's in her 80s. So I said, go ahead, Miss Oscarine, do it. They are at the hall now that they own, and I forgot who was talking. I think it was Aunt Jackie. She was just talking about how things went at the rodeo, and basically Miss Oscarine is not for all this mess, and I'm not gonna do it. Like, at this point, she's at the point of not taking anybody's deal for anything. Word gets back to Jamisha about that, and she said, look, I am in agreement that how things were handled at the rodeo was not good, and that's why we know that only a few people should be around Granny at the time of presenting anything. But she has not heard the whole pitch that I have, and she brought along her friend with Jaquista to look at slides to give a full-out, thorough presentation, so that Granny will probably say yes to what's going on here. And I love that Jamisha's not backing down. She just knows how she has to handle her grandmother. So I like that tenacity in her and the wisdom that she has. I hope she actually gets it because she's actually fought. It does. I believe now. I think that Nicole and Granny got the best relationship. I think Nicole is favorite. I think so. Like, what do y'all think? Because there's a connection there between Granny and Nicole that's unmatched. You can tell. You know, she love her grandchildren. She love her children. Like, you know, she love them. I think that there's a special bond between Nicole, and there's some way that they just get each other in a way that is interesting to watch. I think that was it until the new broil, because there's going to be a confrontation. We get into this broil. I do want to see what this whole crab boil thing is all about. I've never been involved in it, but hey, let's get it started. Let's get it crunk. So everyone shows up, and again, the only person that's not there is Granny Oscarine. The dad is there. I mean, Nicole's dad, and the rest of them dead. And Mama Joy is there. And they wanted to open up this conversation about this whole, what is this you talking about? Somebody should have been minding their own business. You know, I don't know which side Monet was on. It seemed like she was there to kind of, how can I say this? I think she was just trying to be the in-between person, the neutral person to get things, to make sure things are communicated well and nothing goes left. What was I going to say? So Keisha brings up the whole situation about her saying about, in a general way, somebody should have been minding their own home and business and all that good stuff. And I think Jamisha and Jaquista's mom said, you know, we handled everything. She said, I knew coming to your home would not have been well, as far as me bringing Keisha around. So that's why she came to my house. And to Joy's response, she thinks that, you know, Bubba should have had the chance to do this. I believe that too. But then Keisha is like, and I think, I think that that's a good point. Well, when was he going to step up and do what he was supposed to do? There's a point where Keisha's mom was at least, I don't know, lying, or at least somehow Keisha thought that her brother's father was her father. We don't know if she was lying about it or not, or just didn't say nothing. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if the mama was lying or not. So it kind of got into this argument, and they're going back and forth and debate, and all this good stuff. And then that was the end of the episode. What I do feel like overall Keisha was mishandled over the adults' BS. They didn't know how to get their tail together, all because another baby came. It wasn't a part of the plan, it wasn't on their bingo card, and now that she's here, we don't know what to do. And we didn't know how to really welcome her into the home because it looks a certain way, even though y'all weren't even married. I think that Mr. Bubba ended up choosing Miss Joy and they got married. I think that's what they were talking about. So it's kind of like there's this pride and arrogance that I was the chosen one. That's what I'm getting. And y'all over here. That's how it's giving. You know, what do y'all think about this whole situation? You know, really, Miss Keisha was an innocent party and she got involved and she got put into mess. That's all I got to say. That's all I have to say for this day and with this review. Stay tuned to next week because it gets popping next week, y'all. I love the show anyways. Drama or drama not, or drama free. It's a really good cast, good family, love it. Again, I appreciate everyone for coming over here. Please support by liking this video, also subscribing if you are not subscribed, and leave your comments below. Until the next one, peace.